Do you think the world that we are stepping towards with AI and whatnot being happening, is the future looking robotic to you?
You should just not make the mistake of relying entirely on it. When you say tech, of course, use as much tech as you can. If it can improve your business processes, why not?
How's life been for a Parsi boy growing up in Gwalior?
They would always get confused. Ye hai kya?
Just as a gin fan, what is it made of?
Spirit can be made from anything. We make ours from grains. For any spirit to be called gin, it has to have juniper. So the core ingredient is always juniper.
What is this that makes you guys givers?
So I feel you should be happy with family, you should be happy with work, you should be happy to give and to take everything.
A man with good taste will always have his glass filled with the good stuff. And today's episode of the Entrepreneurs Podcast is all about searching for the good stuff. We'll be deep diving into the world of spirits in bottles and in spirits. Today, I have someone with me who's carrying forward the legacy of 3 generations of the wonderful work that they have been doing. And let me tell you something. There's a very sweet story about the Parsis, when they came to India. And they said that they have come in and they fill up the space like sugar fills up in milk, making the place sweeter. Wherever the Parsis go, they give and they become a part of the society. They become a part of the growth of the society, and they give and give. And that's what they've given to Gwalior. That's what they've given to this state, Madhya Pradesh. That's what they've given to Nagpur, a family that has been serving the good stuff for a very, very long time. And today, the legacy is carried forward by the COO of this wonderful company. I have with me PERVEZ. PERVEZ BAPUNA, welcome to the show.
Thanks so much, Mitra. I think you've given me a more than flattering introduction. It's just, and I'll say it's not just me, it's a lot of people working together. And like you said, sugar in milk. We give you alcohol, we give you ice cream, we give you the furniture you sit on, you'll have a Majani life when you
Majani life.
That's our goal in life.
The way the Parsis have brought in the Majani life into our lives. Bapuna, Elko and so much more that this company has been providing. You are the current generation?
I'm the 3rd generation. So my grandfather started with various different entrepreneurial, I would say, adventures. He even worked in a stationery shop. I mean, he owned a stationery shop. It went from that. He worked for many bottling units. They saw a lot of potential in how his caliber. Eventually, he ended up getting into partnerships with people. And many years on, it ultimately led us to setting up our own units in Madhya Pradesh, and we also have bottling tie-ups in Maharashtra.
So you have, in a way, PERVEZ, you've been not brought up, but almost lived your entire life in Gwalior?
Yes, I would say most of my life, yes, in Gwalior. At least my school happened.
So you did your schooling also over there itself.
Yes.
What's the connection with Nagpur?
Our family is from Nagpur. So my grandfather, like I said, our family is really from some village in Gujarat. He traveled from there to Nagpur, with obviously opportunities and everything. He started working there. So our family is actually from Nagpur. Yes, I am based in Gwalior, but as a business house, we are based out of Nagpur.
PERVEZ, how was it growing up in the family? And from the moment you took your first steps, did you know that you were about to do this for the rest of your life?
See, family has always been very important to us. And family business is a very integral part of our family. I would say I'm very fortunate that we have our parents and my uncles and all. The business was never thrust upon us, but we always knew it is a very important part of who we are and what we do. I can even remember point blank asking my father once or twice, what do you want me to do? Like, you want me to come back, because my educational background is quite varied. But every time he's always said, do what you want.
Tell me about the education background.
So I've actually done law. I have been a practicing lawyer in Bombay. I worked in a law firm called Varya Gandhi. I had wonderful mentors in Bindi and Kunal.
Wow.
Kunal Vajani.
Yes, those are big names.
Yeah.
And but tell me something. Doesn't that help you in the business that you do today?
Of course, it does help, and I think yes, legal knowledge a part, that experience helped me more than anything, I feel. And again, a credit goes to a lot of it, having been fortunate to have mentors like Bindi in part of my life. I mean, much to her disappointment
Because you
after
gave up law.
3 years, yes, I resigned. I mean, she would have hoped I would have continued, but no. I think in the back of my mind, I always knew I am coming back home. I am going to do my family business. I guess I just wanted that self-assurance that, look, you can do something, you can make a difference and be part of this legacy and maybe create something also.
Yeah. When did the switch happen to you, for you, PERVEZ?
3 years into law, I guess at that time I had enough. I mean, now it feels quite a long time ago. This is more than maybe now 10, 15 years ago. That's now seems a very small part of my life. But someone going right out of college and working, that was a big part of my life back then. Then I quit, gave up my practice, gave up my sanad, and then came back home and joined the business.
Was there a conversation between you and dad? Was there a that वो था ना वो एक conversation that changed everything for you?
No, like I said, there was never that pressure to come back and join the business. It was just that you grew up. I feel, like I said, it was how we were brought up, and also my personal conviction that yes, I did want to come back. I mean, thanks to my parents and all that, they gave us that self-confidence also to do whatever we wanted. Yet we have come back. I mean, most of my cousin brothers and I, we are all now in the family business. Even if we had done different things, we got different experiences.
But there's something about legacy, joining a family business. I come from a family of booksellers back home in Calcutta. And again, the same thing, great-grandfather, grandfather, father, everybody's been doing that. Every time you step into that sort of a world, you can clearly feel, not a pressure, but definitely the legacy on your shoulders. It's almost like, bro, you can't mess up around here.
I don't think you should ever think of it as a disadvantage or anything that is, in fact, it's the best advantage you can get. Although at the end of the day, your business goal is the same. Yes, you're a legacy. I'm in my third generation. My kids will be maybe the fourth generation. We don't know what the future holds.
True.
Yeah, but it is a good thing to have that legacy behind you. Yes, you don't want to disappoint. Yes, you don't want to make mistakes, but that's part of any business you do.
True.
Risk is there with anything. Even today, I'm taking a decision. Might be wrong, it might be right. It's just the hope is 9 out of 10 times you make the right call.
Yeah, true that.
So you keep doing it, keep moving ahead, and you keep growing. You can't stagnate.
Yeah, tell that to Arjun Tendulkar, man. I know. Do you play cricket, by the way?
No, I don't.
What? How can you do that? How can you do that? You guys gave us Farooq Engineer and more.
We have a community. I mean, at least not me. Yes, my cousin plays. My brothers play.
Were you ever in sports? What did you go to?
If you ask any of my friends, I was always the umpire in the match. So खेल नहीं सकता था, but I wanted to be part of it.
What about arts and culture? Did you ever perform on stage? Did you do your singing, or were you the studious one?
I definitely wasn't the student's one. I think I was an average student, probably like 60, 70 types. Always been
That's
average.
good enough, PERVEZ.
Not today.
Yeah, not today.
Yeah.
But the generations are changing now, PERVEZ. Tell me something, with every generation that comes in, the new life that comes in, do you think the world that we are stepping towards with AI and whatnot being happening, is the future looking robotic to you?
It is, and in fact, we as a group are going through many changes, and I would say tech is definitely going to be part of that change. We are continuously bringing about a lot of change, and I would say it's not just an infra change; it's also a cultural change that we are trying to bring about. So I always say the change has to start from us. Like we as entrepreneurs, unless we don't change our style of working, the people working with us will never change their style of working. So, and when you say tech, of course, use as much tech as you can. If it can improve your business processes, why not?
Yeah.
You should just not make the mistake of relying entirely on it. Even today, like, I can understand when someone has used ChatGPT to send an email to me. It's okay to do that, but don't make it too obvious. Like, even I use ChatGPT, but I'm not
Bro,
going
ChatGPT has become people's therapist. It has become people's best friend. People are discussing their breakups with ChatGPT, bro.
Okay, no, that's going to.
It is. And ChatGPT is giving them solutions also.
I go there mainly for work related stuff. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
man.
asking questions, and if nothing else, it will give you a starting point. But it's not going to be the end all. Or at least we've not reached that point yet that I feed something in it and I go by what it says.
I don't know what the future holds, Parvez, but I'm keeping my fingers crossed. But diversification for you and your company has always been on the top of your list. There is so much that you guys are doing. We'll come to the distillery part, but you guys gave us the Inshaw's ice cream.
Yeah. So, I would say by chance, like
Yes.
we were speaking earlier.
Yes.
Both my grandfathers, their name was Dinsha, but that is just a coincidence. This is around the early noughties. That this is now in my father's generation, Adil, Abad, and Aspi.
Yes, yes.
They had the courage, they had the conviction and the determination that they found opportunity in entering into partnership with Dinshas. So, and since then, it's also not what you just do, taking that first bold step. It's what you do after that step.
True.
So for us, our core strength has always been Alcobev. So that was a totally different ball game. But they took it forward. And we were very lucky to have partners like the Rana family that we've managed to now. Dinsha is available in 10 states.
There it is.
Yeah. So and the product range is from chakna.
Yes, it does.
To ice cream, to paneer, to curd, to all dairy products, everything.
सर सुबह की शुरुआत भी आपके साथ हो सकती है और शाम की एंड भी आपके साथ हो सकती है. This
और
is the
बीच में जो खा पी लोगे उसको भी दे देंगे.
वो भी चल
जिस पे
सकता है.
बैठोगे वो भी दे देंगे.
Parvez, you said you shifted to, you were born in Nagpur, but then you shifted to Gwalior.
Yes.
Growing up in Gwalior, how's life been for a Parsi boy growing up in Gwalior? One of the only families? Two families, you said.
Now only 2 families. Yes. That time there were 3.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So still, it's like people don't know what a Parsi is. At least that time they did not really know. And our names are very unique. Parvez is still relatable. So my brother's name is Masdiyar. Yeah. So always they found that interesting, different. They would always get confused. ये है क्या? But they just knew ठीक है जो भी अच्छा है.
They would use all kind of combinations just to call. Your brother must be called Majdi Bhai.
मजेदार भैया. He was मजेदार भैया.
Mazedar. Trust a Gwalior person to go ahead and crack this and find this.
So my brother was मजेदार भैया. I was still Parvez. Thank you.
And where did you study in Gwalior?
So I was in the Air Force School in Gwalior.
Oh, of course, yes.
Studied there till my 10th, and then have been studying outside. I did my law in Pune.
Of course, yes, you mentioned.
Did 1 year abroad, came back.
And so Gwalior as a lifestyle, I know it's a different kind of a setup altogether, but you made it your own.
I think you can make any place your own.
Yeah.
You just need family and friends.
Yeah,
I
true
mean,
that.
You're good with anywhere. In fact, we in a small town you end up meeting friends and family more often than you would in a Bombay or Delhi.
True that. I agree.
Weekend पे देखेंगे 2 घंटे दूर जाना है.
Yeah,
तो 15 minutes you reach anywhere.
Yeah, true that.
Yeah.
And at the factory or the place that you have in Gwalior itself, the kind of innovations that you guys are bringing in, the new kind of product. Everybody's been talking about the Chambal gin, bro.
Yeah.
What's happening?
I hope then we are achieving what we want.
No, totally. And Chambal is Chambal, Gwalior. It's a tribute to the land that you built that gin in.
Yeah, I was very clear. I wanted to create something from where we are, where the unit is based in, and what not to highlight like Chambal. We've got Chambal gin and we've got Daku rum, and we've got more products.
Daku rum, bro.
Disclaimer: आप पी के डाकू नहीं बन जाते. But it's just going back. See, and we wanted to change the narrative. I mean, that part of MP or India, you want to say, has always had a different feel or connotation. We wanted to see you can create anything anywhere and you can have a world-class product, spirit product from a town like Gwalior and have it do well in international competitions. I mean, today we submitted it in many international competitions. We win gold, we win bronze, we win silver, we win, and we are competing with all the big guys over there.
Absolutely, and making India proud through Chambal gin. That would be. I'd vouch for it. I'd definitely vouch for it. Let me vouch for it right away.
Yeah.
But tell me something, Parvez. it's also giving back to the society. It's also giving so much business to that local sector. How many people that do work under you in that
So I
space?
would say indirectly and directly, we've got, depending on the time of the year, about
Yeah.
1,000 people working there.
Wow. And there's a lot of gender diversity that I read about in your company. Tell me more about that.
So as I spoke about cultural change, so this
Yes.
was part of it. We've been wanting to inculcate diversity into the unit for quite a while. The unit is based in northern MP, so culturally there have always been barriers. First, for barriers for women to work, and then a second barrier for women to work in Alcobev.
Oh, that's true.
But things have changed, and we have introduced women into the workforce. I would say now 4, maybe 5 years ago, and I can proudly say we've got now minimum 20% women on our bottling lines, and our goal is to have a minimum of 30% on our lines by the end of next fiscal.
That's brilliant. And what does what does the future look like for Alcobev, especially with the kind of taste that is changing in the current generation? Do you see that? Do you feel that they're seeking something different in today's day and age?
Of course, I mean, and today the consumer has no shortage of options. You've got 1,000 gins out there.
Yeah.
I mean, not 1,000, but quite literally, sometimes it feels you're spoiled for choice.
Yeah, that's true.
So how do you stand out? At least our experience has been you stand out, one, if you're authentic.
Yeah, yeah.
Two, if your packaging and branding is spot on. And three, and which I always feel is most important, the liquid has to be good.
Yeah.
And the packaging brings you in, but the liquid keeps you going on the same product.
Yeah, well said.
Yeah.
And when it comes to diversification, as you mentioned that your company and your family has always believed in, are there any new ventures that we look forward to, or is it more deep diving into Alcobev?
So we are already a diversified group.
Yes, of course.
And when it comes to the Alcobev part, we have primarily been a B2B business. And I mean, we've got a huge, we are a co-pack for Pernod Ricard India, Radico Khaitan, Mohan Meakin, and we started for Bacardi also.
Yes, okay.
Our laying focus, we continuously growing that part of the business, but we've also started our B2C products like gin and Chambal gin and Daku rum. Apart from that, we are also going to soon come up with another unit in Maharashtra, all towards gearing towards a dual growth of B2B and B2C.
Sweet. Do you spend time behind the bar? Do you manage to, of course, a man who has made a lot of people very happy with their gin and other beverages also, but do you make stuff yourself? Do you entertain yourself and your friends at times?
The final blend, yes, I am part of that tasting process. Like Chambal, it took us 42 variants to finally reach what we were finally happy with.
What?
Yes.
42
Yes,
variants?
so that was the 42nd one. We decided, yes, it's finally good to put it out there. Again, this is my personal feeling and what we are feeling the consumer react to. If you spend time making that product and you are happy having that product, the consumer will like it.
Just as a gin fan, can you tell me the process just a little bit? How is it made? What is it made of?
Gin can be made from any raw material, as in it's the spirit can be made from anything. We make ours from grain. So
Grains,
ours
okay.
is made from primarily rice. So once the rice goes through the distillation process, we then re-distill it 3 times in a copper pot still.
Ooh,
Yeah.
okay.
And we infuse it with botanicals.
Uh-huh.
So for any spirit to be called gin, it has to have juniper. So the core ingredient is always juniper. And then we, typical Indian fashion, we add our local botanicals. So we've added dalchini is what?
Yeah, dalchini.
Yeah.
Call it dalchini, bro. We call it dalchini only.
Yeah. So
नहीं वो इंग्लिश का वर्ड उनके लिए जरूरत भी नहीं है.
black cardamom, green cardamom, we've got almond. So all of that in different computations or whatever, and it finally gave us the product we like.
Bro, आप लोगों के यहाँ पे ऐसे टेस्टर्स की जरूरत पड़ती है क्या मतलब?
Of course, any
ऐसे ही
business.
मतलब जो
आपको
मतलब
भी भेज दूंगा. Don't
केवल
worry.
नहीं
But the
टेस्टर
problem
जो
है आपको ग्वालियर आना पड़ेगा.
हाँ कि बैठ के जो बताया 42 वेरिएंट्स बने थे भाई 40 सेकंड तक पहुंचते पहुंचते तो आदमी को अच्छा लगेगा ही ना. ये वाली बेस्ट है. 40 seconds. But this is amazing, the kind of involvement that goes in, and that's what makes it the good stuff.
Yes.
Apart from Alcobev, has it diverged into other brews, other liquors?
Right now, primarily focusing into spirits. We've got a brewery also. We're tied up there currently with Bira. spirits, like I said, we've got gin and rum already out there. We have plans to introduce other spirits. Like before the end of the year, we'll have our own vodka out also, a premium vodka.
Nice.
And eventually,
You're gonna make some Russians very happy.
I hope so. पहले Indians को happy कर लो,
पहले
फिर
Indians
Russians
are
को,
ठीक
हाँ.
है. Yeah, man. I mean, you come to India, we give you
Yeah.
Indian vodka. What's about with Daku Ram? Tell me more about that one. How many variants did it take for that one to reach where it reached?
Honestly, it didn't take as many as Chambal. Chambal seems to have taken us the most amount of time. Daku is again both variants. We've got a silver, what we say silver rum, and a gold rum. So we've got a dark rum and a white rum. Both are blended rums. We infuse our gold rum with sherry and caramel, and we've made it the perfect blend. And I'm sure if you try it, you will love it, and you won't go back to any other rum that people usually prefer.
Bro, I'm already going Daku in my heart right away. But Pervez, you've known this country and their drinking habits. What do you think India is? What does India drink?
India is primarily a whiskey market. I mean, no matter what things we come up
Jo
with,
bhi
the
bana.
major contribution comes from that one segment.
Why? Why is India such a whiskey-heavy country?
I don't know. Maybe call it a colonial hangover.
Hangover,
Yeah. I mean, people just prefer the taste now. Although now, I mean, people understand that Indians can also make a fine product. That's why Indian single malts are doing so well.
Yeah.
And that's why we would also have one coming out in the next 2 years.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
What about the Indian whiskies that have done world pride? I'm asking about your competitors. I'm talking about what is your recommendations for people?
Recommendations, I think, going back to the OG Amrit. Amrit has
Amrit,
always
yes.
been a brilliant spirit. But you've got wonderful new ones also, which are there. Like Indri is doing very well.
Yes.
Rampur obviously is a brilliant. Rampur has a new one which I personally like, Sangam. That also is very good. Yeah.
What about those Rajasthan blends? What are those, Parvez? What do they make them of? What is that? Maharani Manesar.
Okay.
And
I'm not quite sure what the core ingredient there. That's like a local liquor.
it gives me the flavor
Yeah,
of
so it's
almost.
a rose, I think.
Yes.
I'm not sure. It's pink in color.
Yes.
I don't know what the core ingredient or anything or how the process over there is. I've never made it, and I don't think we can make it also because it's a geotag.
One of them. What about wines in India? Is India a big wine drinking nation, or is it becoming?
Like I said, India is a whiskey drinking nation, and then secondary we would be rum and brandy.
Yeah.
Dark,
Old monk.
Dark spirits are the main thing. Everything else is secondary. So yes, but we've got wonderful vineyards in Nasik.
Yeah, true
So
that.
they're doing
Maybe
a
it's a
brilliant job.
changing time and it'll take a little time. Indians don't even consider wine alcohol.
Most Europeans don't either.
भैया कोल्ड ड्रिंक क्यों पिला रहे हो? अरे कोल्ड ड्रिंक नहीं वाइन है यार. Like, and I think that's the changeover that I think over the period of time the new generations
Correct.
are bringing in. Those little pet bottles are doing their job, and
The cultural change generation to generation. It's not so much of a taboo today to have a drink, as long as you control how
No,
you're
that's
doing
true.
it.
That's true. That's always be responsible.
Yes,
And
always.
has that ever been a conscious call within yourself where you'd feel that that alcohol is something that you would look into as a lot of them would look at it as one of the sins of the society, but it is not the fault of what it is. It is the fault of the consumer if ever it has to go
I
down.
don't think there's fault to be laid anywhere. At the end of the day, it is a product and it's there for your consumption.
Yeah. Parvez, you've also been working towards a more corporate performance-driven culture. Traditionally, a family-run business. How does it work, and what's worked in your favor, like driving a cultural change without losing the essence of legacy? Because most of the families would like to hold it close to the chest.
Like I said earlier also, legacy is a good thing. You're not changing the legacy.
Yeah.
You're just changing the way maybe certain things are done to improve upon that legacy or to take that legacy forward. So I don't ever think of it as taking anything away from legacy. Like our focus has been building upon efficiencies, both when it comes to our physical infrastructure and also ourselves. Like I spoke about changing our way of working as entrepreneurs. Only then it will trickle down. Like I said, online efficiencies, we've got different ways of data reporting. We changed the whole scenario of rejigged our entire corporate structure. We gave new designations. We gave KPIs to every individual. We had clear set goals and timelines to achieve those goals for everyone, which impacts how their performance is assessed. Things were there before, but maybe they were not as structured. Now we even have policies for smaller items, so there's no if and or buts. What the policy says, we will abide by that. It's just trying to make, as you grow, your life and your people's life simpler, I feel, rather than taking away from legacy or anything. And you have to change. I mean, today competition is changing, evolving continuously. There are new people coming into the business all the time.
True.
Either be dynamic or stagnate. I mean, just because something was done before, it doesn't mean we can't improve upon it today.
Well said, and absolutely. I mean, at the end of the day, this is an extended family for you,
Yes.
and everybody else working is working towards a similar goal.
Yeah.
And good incentives. Do you think if a good employee works really hard in incentive, he gets a good chambal gin?
No, we don't do that. No alcohol is dispersed at
You
all.
worked very hard. There's a chambal gin for you. No, but jokes apart, I mean, but is that it's one has to maintain the tradition that has been a part of the a legacy like yours. And at the same time, innovation is something that's always on the mind of an entrepreneur. And you are holding both the strings in your hands. From one hand, holding on to the tradition, and on the other, moving towards innovation.
Again, like I keep saying, we're just building upon the legacy. We're not changing the legacy.
Yeah.
That it's undoubted as to what my grandfather did, what my father and his two brothers did. I mean, they set up this whole business empire. We are just taking it forward, trying to improve as much as we can upon it or grow it. Like we went through a rebrand, in fact, 3 years ago. So our entire group got a new identity. We have a brand new logo. We even renamed a few entities to bring BAPUNA to the forefront. So like you mentioned BAPUNA Alcobrew, it was called Gwalior Alcobrew.
Yes, it was.
Just again driving that point home of this is the BAPUNA enterprise.
Yeah.
So, and we will keep doing things like that. So you're just taking that legacy forward. We have a whole new identity, which I feel is, in fact, it's done well, as in, we were never on something like a LinkedIn. We used to avoid podcasts. Things are changing, and we are changing with time, I would say.
Well, and you're leading the change yourself, PERVEZ.
I'm one of the many leaders trying to make that change.
And is it? Do you feel skeptic about it? Does that make you anxious at times? That times are changing.
You are anxious for anything and everything. Business is like life. You don't know what is going to happen. You just try and deal with the situation and move ahead.
And I think the legacy of your family and the legacy of your lineage by default, PERVEZ, it's a tremendous love and respect towards the community that you come from, which has done so much for this nation. And like I said right at the top of this, that you always add to the society in a sweeter way, in a wonderful way.
Like I said, it's from my grandfather. We've got all these, I would say, culturally embedded into us as a family. Yes, from the business aspect, always do the best you can, deliver quality with integrity. That is one of our pillars that we function on. But we do a lot of charitable work, whether it is within the unit, with the outside the unit. I mean, for athletes also, we do an annual blood bank collection. We do an annual eye checkup health camp in Gwalior. We have created rainwater harvesting ponds in Gwalior. So we continuously try and give back to society as much as we can.
What is this, PERVEZ? Tell me, and I've had a lot of Parsi friends, and I always ask them the same thing. What is this that makes you guys givers?
I don't know. I guess you have to have happiness in you.
Inherently.
Inherently. I mean, if you're an unhappy person, I don't think you'll ever end up giving anything to anyone. So I feel you should be happy with family, you should be happy with work, you should be happy to give and to take everything.
And that's why you call it Majani life.
Yes.
There it is, man. So may you be happy and happier, so that in return you can make us happy. And you have already given us a lot of reasons to be happy, including Dakuram and Chambal Jin. People of Gwalior are happy. Us are happy. Thank you for making this a happy society.
So much. Thanks.
Thank you
Thanks
very
for
much.
having me here. It was
Thank you,
brilliant.
PERVEZ.
Yeah.